Erling Haaland has scored ridiculous amounts of goals everywhere he went. From his humble beginnings in Norway at Molde FC to now Manchester City in the English Premier League, he's always found the back of the net at incredible rates. So what if I told you that there was a player that actually played with and alongside Haaland that outscored him? Well, you might not believe me, but this player very much exists, and this is his story. Born in the town of Chingola in Zambia on the 9th of October 1998, Patson Daka was not originally expected to have a brilliant career in the top-flight divisions of European football. Much the opposite, in fact. Patson rapidly turned professional in one of the top clubs in Zambia, Kafue Celtic. However, then he wasn't able to secure a spot on the team and was loaned out to several clubs in Zambia, moving between clubs and never really finding any stability. In 2017, Patson competed in the Under-20 African Cup of Nations with Zambia, and he finished as the top scorer of the competition with 4 goals, leading Zambia to winning the tournament that year. Not only was Patson the highest scorer of the competition, but he was also named as the best player of the tournament. That year, in 2017, Patson was elected as the best young African player at the AFCON Awards. RB Salzburg scouts immediately perceived Patson's immense talent and offered him a contract to move to Austria and join the RB Salzburg team. Patson recalls this move to Europe as being difficult, as he stated in an interview, "I arrived in winter and it was one of the worst winters Austria had known in recent years. It was very difficult." But he also explains the RB Salzburg team and staff were very helpful in making sure he adapted well to his new life in Europe. "They made me feel at home, even though I was far away from it, which really helped my transition here in Europe." This is a prime example of what allowed for Patson Daka's great career performances early in his career. In Austria, everyone in Salzburg scared put Daka in the best possible conditions for him to perform. Salzburg had scouted him and made the effort to bring him to Europe. The coach and all the staff openly believed in his potential and knew exactly how to get the best out of him. Initially, Patson was sent out on loan to FC Liefering in Austria's second division for the first 2 years of his time in Europe. There, he performed solidly and adapted to European football. Patson was called back to Salzburg in the 2017-18 season, where he played a total of 9 games and scored 1 goal. The following season, Patson was awarded more game time and scored 4 goals and assisted 1 in 16 games. Finally, it would be in the 2019-20 season where he would finally get more game time and start bagging in goals like they were nothing. That season, he played for 37 games for a total of 26 goals and 10 assists. Also, it is important to keep in mind that in this season, Patson needed to share game time with none other than Erling Haaland himself. Furthermore, that season, Salzburg's squad was filled with immensely talented players, especially on the offensive end, which forced goals and assists to be split between all the players. Apart from Patson Daka and Erling Haaland, RB Salzburg 2019 squad included the likes of Karim Adeyemi, Dominik Szoboszlai, Hwang Hee-chan, Takumi Minamino, or even Noah Okafor. Rightly following in Haaland's footsteps and even breaking his record in Salzburg, the following season, the 2020-21 season, Patson scored 32 goals with 8 assists in only 34 games. This season, everyone in Europe took note and clubs were all ready not to miss out on the next Erling Haaland. Reportedly, numerous top clubs were in talks to acquire Patson, including AC Milan, Liverpool, Manchester United and Juventus. Rather surprisingly, it's Leicester City that came out victorious and signed the Zambian talent. Patson Daka was seen by many as the replacement for club legend Jamie Vardy. Many believed that Vardy was on the decline, having passed the age of 30, and that Patson would slowly but surely become the first choice striker and talisman for the club. First few months went decently well as Patson adapted to his new life in England and slowly integrated the Leicester side. He even scored this incredible goal whilst in one of his first training sessions with Leicester, which went viral on social media. Patson was awarded minutes off the bench early in the season to ease him into English football. However, it rapidly became clear that Jamie Vardy was in no way, shape or form a victim of his age, and that these inconsistent minutes is all Patson would get all season. Patson ended the season with a mere 6 goals and 1 assist, a shy total for a player that was deemed to be Haaland's successor just one season prior. Daka's second season in England with Leicester was much of the same, and this inconsistent game time only allowed for him to bag a total of 4 goals and 4 assists by the end of the 22-23 season. However, that season, the team's performance was even worse than Patson's individual performance, as Leicester City actually finished 19th in the English Premier League, calling for a relegation to the Championship. That 2021 summer, Leicester had made multiple heavy investments along with Patson Daka's arrival in the transfer market with a clear aim to improve competitiveness and fight for the precious Champions League spots in the English Premier League. However, things very much didn't go as planned, as 2 years after this heavy spending summer, Leicester actually found themselves to be relegated to England's second division. Following the relegation, many top players like James Maddison left the club, hinting that Patson's struggle for minutes might be less competitive and therefore benefit his game time the following season. So far, however, this has not proven to be correct, as in this current 23-24 season, Daka has only played 3 games and remains Leicester's backup offensive option. However, many, including Leicester fans, have called for a larger use of Patson by head coach. With the very limited game time he has had, Patson still managed to score 2 goals and 1 assist. However, the issue with awarding Patson more playing time was clearly highlighted by Leicester head coach, as he stated in a recent interview. The problem with Pat is that we have Kelly and Jamie, and now Tom is back. Kelly and Jamie are doing very well. It doesn't mean that if Pat plays he's going to do bad, but there are already 2 players who are doing very well. Rumours had Patson Daka potentially leaving for AS Monaco in the summer, as they were looking for a striker and Patson might have wanted to exit a relegated club. However, Monaco finally opted for Folarin Balogun, a striker that on his part has had plenty of game time to display his abilities, being a starter for Ligue 1 side Reims. The rapid downfall of Patson Daka's career and the complicated position that he currently finds himself in Leicester is hard to watch for a striker that was seemingly destined to follow the road traced by his predecessor in Salzburg, Erling Haaland. Again, Patson remains very young, and only one top season could very much relaunch his career and the hype that once surrounded him just a few years ago. If anything, this story reveals the importance of having a caring environment that sets one up in the best possible conditions for success. Will Patson Daka really end up turning into the next Erling Haaland, or will he never truly fulfill the potential once observed in Salzburg? Only time will tell.